Hey, Shad here with Speed Addicts, the fastest growing gear site on the web. Today we're going to uncrate the Legend suspension Revo and Revo A shocks. What's up, SpeedX fan? Before we jump in and tell you all about Legend's top seller, the Revo and Revo A shocks, do us a favor, subscribe to the Speed Addicts channel. It takes a click, then you're up to date on all the latest parts and gear coming into the power sports industry. Working hard here at Speed Addicts to educate you and give you the first look at the coolest stuff. Subscribe, don't miss out. Also, if you'd like to support us here at speedaddicts.com, you could also do so by just shopping with us. There's going to be a link in the description below that'll take you over to the complete selection of Legend suspension products. Over there at SpeedX, we got everything for two wheels. Check us out. Okay, back to the matter at hand. If you're not familiar with Legend suspensions and you own a Harley Davidson, well, you've messed up. You should know who they are. They are one of the top aftermarket producers of very high-end, both rear and front suspension. So the company is founded on Harley Davidson aftermarket suspension, and that is it. They started in 1998, and they were the first aftermarket producer of air ride suspension for Softails. So they've been doing this for a while. They know what they're doing. They're located in Sturgis, for God's sake. They're at Mecca, so they don't make shocks for anything else except for Harley Davidsons. Now, the Revo shock is going to be their top seller. The Revo A variant specifically, and A stands for adjustable. That gives you the rebound adjustment right here on the bottom. Both the Revo and the Revo A's are both adjustable by hand as far as the preload goes. So it's easy to set and reset your sag out there on the road. You got a passenger jumping on, no problem. You just twist the whole coil. Once it's on the machine, there are no tools required. So the easy adjustability, the performance is why folks choose the Revo shock. So if you go with the standard Revo, the non-adjustable, you'll lose that rebound adjustment. $7.99 makes them yours. If you want to step it up, they're getting you for $200 to get the rebound adjustment, but trust me, it's worth it, and it is their #1 seller for a reason, because it's got an easy 6-position rebound setter. That means you don't need to know what you're doing. You just need to know what you like. Okay, so twist it up or down. It's going to change how the shock rebounds, how fast and sensitive it is on the road. And if you want that cruiser vibe, dial it down. You want a higher performance rebound, if you're going to be cooking, dial it up. Okay, it's that easy. $999 is what it costs, so $1,000. Don't cheap out. Get the good stuff. Lifetime warranty. This should be the last shock you put on your Harley, okay? Now let's talk about your decisions here. You're going to have to make some decisions. Number one, pick the color. Depends on the machine, but usually they have the black, like in front of me. They're all anodized, silver or gold. So there are 3 different colors. And then you're gonna have to decide how much gear and how much meat you're putting on this vehicle. If it's over 500 pounds total, including your passenger and your gear, Legend's probably gonna recommend you go with the heavy duty spring rate. If you're under that, go with the standard spring rate. If you're not sure, call and talk to Rider Sport here at Speed Addicts. We will help you. If you're borderline, usually what we're gonna say is that you probably wanna go with that standard spring rate, and once you have a heavier passenger or luggage on, crank down the preload and just get by. Because when you are on the machine by yourself and you're under that 500-pound mark, you're gonna have a much better riding experience with the standard spring rate compared to that HD spring rate, which is gonna be quite stiff. If you don't care, you like the stiff ride, then you can go with the HD and you'll get the pros of that HD spring rate once the bike is loaded up. Okay, that is your spring rate talk. Last decision, the length. There are 3 lengths for this shock. You will see a 12-inch, a 13-inch, and for some models, specifically Dyna Sportsters, FLH, you are going to see, or Dyna Sportsters, you're going to see a 14-inch. And that's typically for, number one, taller folks, or people that are trying to get more clearance because they're racing the bike or just want a really high performance ride. Okay, so let's set that 14-inch aside. Most of the folks buying these, a lot of them, are on the touring machines, they're on your baggers, and you're either going to get the 12 or the 13. From the factory, most of the late model touring machines have a 12-inch shock from the factory. If you have the clearance, if you're not a shorter individual, you should get the 13. That is their most popular option. Yes, it is an inch longer than that factory shock, but it can, if you adjust the preload properly, it can ride nearly the same ride height while giving you more travel. With suspension, more travel. It is good. It's going to smooth out bumps. It's going to be better for you. If you are shorter, you don't have the room to spare, you should stick with the 12 inch. If the ride height goes up a quarter or half inch and it's gonna ruin your day, go with that 12 inch. It's still going to ride excellent and perform great for you. Okay, that is the spring or the overall length talk. Okay, you following me? Good. Let's talk about their design in terms of the coil itself and that length. What they've decided to do is gone with a linear spring rate. You notice these coils are all equal distant apart. That's different from some of their competitors that go with a progressively wound spring where some of them will be closer and further away. Legend thinks that the linear wound spring, you try to say that 3 times fast, is better because they're going to put a longer spring on, just with their design, the way they run their caps here. A longer linear spring is going to provide a better ride for most of us weekend warriors who are going out and want that. They want both things. They want the comfortable ride and the performance. The longer spring gives you more of a sweet spot to accomplish these things. The shock body itself is a hard anodized aluminum body, and it features something that most of their competitors don't have, which are spherical bearings in the eyes here instead of a rubber grommet. No matter how you cut it, the rubber is just, it only has a certain amount of miles in it, and it's going to be dead long before these spherical bearings. That's one of the reasons that Legend here can warranty these shocks for a lifetime, which is pretty sweet. Now, there's a lot of tech loaded in the body here itself. Not to bore you, deflective disc, don't laugh at me, producer Matt. Deflective disc dampening. There are a lot of tongue twisters in today's video here, as well as low friction sealing and sliding bearings. This stuff is all made in the USA at their HQ in South Dakota, and it is some of the best stuff available to you. Notice that Legends does not make $400 shocks. They only make the best. If that's what you're after, you should strongly consider the Revo or the Revo A shocks. Again, lifetime warranty, and that about does it. Oh, one last thing. It's hard to see the bumper in here, but they're using a bigger bumper than some of their peers here. And this keeps the shock from bottoming out, okay? So properly adjusted Revo shocks, you're gonna have a real hard time having a hard bottom just because of how stout the shock is itself and this oversized bumper here. So if bottoming is a problem for you, then don't worry, you might have come to the right place. Okay, you still got questions, go talk to our rider support team over the phone, email, or live chat. That's right, you can talk to a human over there. Otherwise, that's all I got for you today. We'll see you next time to find out what's in the crate.